in roughly 36 hours, I'll be on the start line of the Mid Cheshire 5K up in Kingsley in the Cheshire countryside. I'm just doing an easy 6K today. I might do a little 15-20 minute shakeout tomorrow morning, but that's about it. The next proper run is going to be the race. It's actually quite a popular one, and it was sold out weeks and weeks in advance, and I entered a waiting list, not really thinking I would get a spot, but turns out I guess enough people pulled out and I had an entry if I wanted it all of a sudden, and Ben really encouraged me to take it. So we're gonna travel all the way for a 5K race, so I better have a good one. And we made it. We arrived about an hour and a half ago. We checked into our Airbnb. It's been fairly smooth so far, like the whole journey. Out the window, I'm staring at a field. I do not see anything else. No road, no house, nothing. And Ben has gone to the shop to get some groceries for the next couple of days. It is a 30-minute walk to get to the nearest supermarket. It's a bit of a different vibe compared to London. So my job now is to figure out how we're gonna get to the race tomorrow, because apparently there is Uber around here. Not quite sure how reliable that's gonna be, so I might call up a taxi company, try to book a taxi for tomorrow. Going to unpack, we're gonna have dinner, have an early night, and yeah, I'll probably chat to you at some point tomorrow. It is 3:30 p.m, so we're a little over 3.5 hours away from the race. Originally, we were meant to start in 2 waves and receive our race numbers via the post. Turns out there's actually only one big wave. We will start at the same time, and we need to collect our race numbers tonight. So I do need to allocate more time to pick up my race number before we start. I was planning on filming bits and bobs today, and I realized that I've barely filmed anything. I have just been a big bag of nerves all day. That's one of the problems with evening races, is that from the moment I wake up, I think about the race that's going to happen over 12 hours later, and I'm just rather unproductive for the whole day. So this morning I did a little shakeout, just 3 kilometers, and I've had plain beige food all day. I had oats for breakfast, pasta for lunch, toast this afternoon. I'm gonna have some chews before the start, and that's about it. So I guess now, well, I mean, it's a bit early to start getting ready, but I don't know what else I would do, so I'm just gonna slowly start packing the bag and all of that. And I guess the next clips you're going to see are going to be at the race. Hopefully Ben can film the start and the finish, and I will do a proper race recap tomorrow.
Come on, Chloe.
Illustrious list on the Nick Jones Trophy. Great running, Johnny Miller. It's our first lady going through. Great running, 14:15:39. Second lady, Emily Carney going through. Fast running. Well done. Give it going, guys.
It is now Sunday morning. We're back in London. We travelled back yesterday, and I didn't have a chance to sit down and do a proper race debrief. So 19:01 at the Mid Cheshire 5K. I mean, let's be honest, it is not what I wanted, and after this race I felt a little defeated. So far this year I've not been able to run a sub-19 5K, not been able to match my 5K PB, let alone go a little faster, and it's just a little frustrating, especially when you compare to the progress I've made this year with the 10K distance and the half marathon. It feels like with the 5K, I'm going a bit backwards. So yes, I just felt disappointed in myself after this race, especially because I really thought I had a chance to PB, my legs felt really good, it wasn't too windy, there was a good field, and I was running around people for most of the way, so it's not like I was just, you know, running on my own. It itself is not pan flat, it's not Battersea Park, it's one big loop on countryside lanes. The first kilometer and the final one are proper downhill, and the middle bit is slightly lumpy, a little undulating. I think where you feel the inclines the most is on the third kilometer, but really nothing drastic. Like, so many people set PBs at this race, and when you look at the course records, you can't really say that it's a slow one. Like, the men's course record is 13:45 and it's 15:11, I think, for the women. So yes, it is a fast course, and I knew it was going to be a pacing exercise. I had studied the course map before. I wanted to take advantage of the downhills, but also not get too carried away on the first kilometer. I might have gone a bit too fast, but when I was looking at my watch, it wasn't giving me the pace I was actually running at. And when it clocked the first kilometer and I saw, I think, 3:34, 3:35 minutes per k, I was like, oof, maybe I went a little too fast. And then I was a whole lot slower for the second and third kilometer where you had the incline. The fourth kilometer was flatter, and that's where I should have been able to make some time back, and I didn't. I wasn't fast enough on this one, and then I gave absolutely everything on the final kilometer, which was a net downhill, like a proper one, but it wasn't fast enough, and I still finished 5 seconds outside my PB, and I felt defeated. Let's call it what it is. It was a failed 5k PB attempt, but if anything, it was a lovely escape to the countryside. We really enjoyed our stay in the Airbnb that we had picked, and we had the most amazing, helpful host. He actually drove us to the race and then drove back later to pick us up, so we didn't need to worry about getting a taxi. That was just so helpful. And obviously a big thank you to Ben for traveling with me all this way just for a 5k race. But yeah, it was nice to escape London for a couple of days, spend some time in the peace and quiet of the countryside, literally in the middle of nowhere. I am not done with the 5k. It is the most challenging distance for me right now, apparently, but I will keep trying. I have another race that I'm looking at doing in a few weeks, and if I can't PB this spring, I'd like to at least run a sub 19, just to prove to myself that I can still do it. So yes, we'll see. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!